Hey, I hope everyone's having a good Memorial Day weekend. Um, I've just been pretty absent recently, so I apologize. With my dog being sick and all that, I've had a lot of other things going on. I've been into mining a lot recently, but now that H&T mining is kind of tapering off at the moment, I kind of want to get back into watching the markets a little bit more closely. So I figured it would be kind of cool if we did some kind of maybe weekly updates or something like that. Just whenever I have something of interest to talk about, I want to start making more videos. Um, and I kind of want to get into ExoCharts and just simple price analysis. So right now, Bitcoin seems to be, over the last couple of, as you can see here, these are all weekly candles. Like the last few months, like 6 months or so, we've been going back and forth between this range. And somewhere between 31,000 ish. We even obviously got down as far as 25 on this exchange, but these closes are somewhere between 30 and 60,000. So that being said, you're gonna have a lot of stop losses in these areas, and you can see that when they get triggered, and then we re-enter the zone, you're gonna have a lot of trap traders up in these areas, and of course they're gonna make those people pay. So that being said, if this is our main target zone here, we're going back and forth between here, and then we sweep down to take out anybody who's got a stop loss in these areas, or any triggered people who have market orders here because they think it's going to crash. They'll have their stop loss, or their sells rather, but it's still going to be a sell order. They're going to have those sell orders here, and those are all getting filled by what? By buy orders. So what I'm thinking is we have a lot of trap traders down here, and if we re-enter this range, we could be going for their stop losses, which typically would be here, or maybe in these areas, something like that. Oops, sorry. Something like in this area, or even if we have people who've been short for a while, even possibly up here. Now that's all dependent on if we get a weekly close. Like we never know what's going to happen, right? We could get a close here and then it goes straight back down. You never know what's going to happen. But when you're trading, the object is to have a good risk reward trade. And obviously we know if we go back below here that price is not doing what we thought it would be doing, which is going up and then going for these stop losses. And if you're wrong, you lose a small percentage, but if you're right, you get you could have a pretty good return. So it's, in my opinion, if you get a close, like the math adds up, and it's worth it to take a long position there, or just sit in crypto, depending how you do your thing. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm really looking for a close back in here. If we do get a close, I don't see why we're not going to continue in this range for a little while, rather than break down and go completely down. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's pop over to ExoCharts and see what we got here. So this is how I have mine set up at the moment. I have a bunch of different templates, but this is that same range more or less. And as we can see, I've got my volume down here, and we had some heavy volume down here. So that means a lot of people were participating in the market, right? And I say a lot of volume, it's relative, right? It's relative to the other areas around it. So if we zoom in, it says during this week we had $20 billion worth of contracts, and we had a negative 1% delta, and then the cumulative volume delta is negative, around the negative 32 point, which is, whatever. If you go back here when the volume was a lot higher, you can see on the candlesticks, this one was $79 billion in volume. There's just less money in the market at this point than there was right here, right? So that's something to consider. But if you have a bunch of volume right at the bottom of the range and price action is not really rewarding it, you can make the assumption. So let's say we know there's a lot of volume right here, but price is going against it, then that money that's on the table here, they may be able to take it. If there's a lot of people who are short, because we have a negative delta in this area, which means that more people are short here than long. So, and we know for a fact that most people lose lose in the market. So if more people are short here than long, it's not crazy to say we need to go back up. And I just noticed there's a gap here as well that we probably need to fill on CME. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. You know, I'm looking for the market to kind of go up this way a little bit more. Don't know exactly where. You know, you got to play it by ear, and you got to keep up with what's going on, because if we have some crazy stuff going on in the Delta category here, you know, right around this area, then my opinion might change and we might go back down. But as of right now, I don't think we're breaking down. I think that this is not the type of price action you want to see on a breakdown of a range. Let's go down to the daily time frame, kind of look. So when you're breaking out of a range, typically you don't want to see candles like this, right? You want to see how we were about to break out of the range, and then you get this big rebound, and then it comes up and goes all the way. You don't want to see stuff like that on a breakdown. On a breakdown of a range, you want to see candles like this, like long, nasty candles with no fight. You know, this is not like that. If you take this and turn this upside down, oops, you can clearly see that it looks like a rejection here, right? And then we might go back into the range and come for these areas. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, and let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and post this video tonight, and hopefully it was, you know, informative. All right, y'all have a good one, and don't forget to like the video also so more people can see it.